Woohoo! Game 1. Yeah, I'll take 5 games of that. Tessa, no problem. I'll take it all day, every day. Welcome in, everyone, to our Jocks and Jills live post-game show following Ottawa's big Game 1 win over the Minnesota Frost in the first game of the Walter Cup Finals. We're Julia and Tessa from Jocks and Jills. This live episode of Jocks and Jills is brought to you by SharkNinja. We love all 3 of their brands. They're big supporters of the PWHL, Shark Beauty, Shark Home, and Ninja Kitchen. They are a proud founding partner of the PWHL, our presenting sponsor here for our Jocks and Jills live shows. Reminder, guys, we're going to be live here on the PWHL's YouTube page after every Walter Cup final game until the game when the Walter Cup can be handed out. Then we're going to be filming a really cool championship edition of the Jocks and Jills podcast. But until then, Tessa, holy man, Game 1 of the finals didn't disappoint. We're going to have Emily Clark on pretty soon. We're going to have Becky Kellar join us.
Yep.
Emma Buckles will join us as always for her analysis of the game. Might be a little bit biased in this series, but we can't blame her, and we'll let her in either way.
Kazoo and all, even though she doesn't know how to play it.
I totally forgot she had the kazoo backwards. And Cheryl tonight. Wait, we got to start with Cheryl Pounder tonight.
Okay.
Between the benches.
You were worried.
I absolutely
so was I.
love it. There's no chance she's making it through the finals with her full set of teeth, right?
If they keep putting her between the bench. She even said one time, she was like, that was close. That one was close for me. I thought I was going to lose a tooth. And it's like, well, hopefully it's just that cap.
They just got him fixed. Like, you can't be throwing Pounder between the benches with a fresh set of jibs.
Is there like a return policy on that thing? Like, it hasn't even been 30 days. Can you repair it for free? You know what I mean?
That is so funny. And then when it went to OT, I was like, Pounds, can we get a live check-in from you? No F-bombs during this intermission. You are on TV. I feel like it's less flexible than Jocks and Jills, but we need Pounder's F-bombs on Jocks and Jills. We'll have to get a couple more of those in the mix.
Totes.
Ottawa seemed insane tonight. We've been hyping up the crowd. We've said that the crowd was going to be amazing.
Yeah.
The pregame celebration seemed so fun. So cool that they have like a celebrity ambassador.
Wasn't that wicked?
Yeah.
The Thirsty Peddler definitely had everyone juiced up and ready to rock and roll.
100% she did.
Then they had Jamie Fine.
Yeah.
Just getting the people going.
Dude.
Not that Ottawa needs any help.
Nope, not at all.
I'll say that. Ottawa needs this much help getting going. They're charged up from like morning until the end of the game. It's awesome. But Jamie Fine showing up and showing out, putting on a show for everybody.
Yeah.
There's a flag at City Hall, you said?
So sick. Somebody just dropped in the chat, free mullets. They had like a mullet stand on Charge Avenue.
Like a wig?
No, girl. They had barbers on Charge Avenue cutting mullets into fans' heads. I haven't seen any of the mullets yet, and we're not boots on the ground, so I wasn't able to explore that. Yeah. Although I have to say, we got to remember to talk to Buckles about this. One of us is going to have to get a mullet cut in some way.
It's Jackie.
We go to, oh yeah, Jackie. Of course it's Jackie.
100%.
I can't remember how much hair Jackie has right now.
Jackie, you're in for, right? The hair's growing out enough.
Yeah. Somebody on the Jocks and Jills team will be getting an Ottawa Charge mullet at some point during the postseason. I know
if not, we'll just make it Amy Shear.
Right? Yes, she will.
Amy Shear, we're calling you out. Get the moulet fancy with like the staircase.
100%.
Or you can get like electric bolts.
That's what you'd need, right? Like Theo, your kid, would 100% do the electric bolt.
We used to do it for him.
So good. So good. So those are just some of the best in-game activation or pre-game activations I've ever heard of. And the crowd was so loud. Some of the best signs I've ever seen from fans, whether it was, and we'll talk about Carla McLeod's being a finalist as a coach of the year in the PWHL soon, but the Carla was right about everything sign just absolutely killed me. It was so good.
Yeah. Everybody basically, you understand where those fans were coming from, right? Because there was love for Carla at the beginning, love from all of the players at the beginning. Then it was just like a total roller coaster ride, a very inconsistent season for a couple seasons in a row. Then they punched their ticket, and then now they're just cruising.
Yeah.
In the
have
playoffs.
You ever talked to, this is like kind of a random thought that I've had. Have you ever talked to, and I'm sure that you have, do you remember how much, like everybody sees the sunshine and rainbows that is Carla McLeod with the Czech national team now?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know what to make of Carla McLeod at first. Like, I remember when she first got together with that team, her telling us, like, yeah, like, I don't know. They didn't buy in at first. They took a while for them to buy into the message. Seemed like there was some push. And then when they bought in, they bought in.
Well, it's like any human, like change is strange for humans, and we don't necessarily like it until you start to see until your leaders actually buy in, and then people kind of follow, and then you start to see progress and change going in the right direction. And then you're like, well, hold on, let's give this a shot. And then all of a sudden it starts to feel good, and you're noticing things on the ice that are happening the way they're supposed to be happening. And then it's just like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah.
But that's different. The Czech national team's getting together, once every couple months for a camp, and then maybe a tournament every year, two tournaments every year. This is every day at the rink. This is a different beast. For one, the players, and two, for the coaching staff, for Carla as well. There's adjustments that need to be made. They're all learning. Everyone's learning. We've never been pros. It started last year.
Yeah.
Right?
To do it day in and day out like this.
Coach is the same. It's a different beast. So clearly Ottawa's learning curve has been going great.
Absolutely. Hey, we've got Becky Kellar in the lobby. Someone
Let's chat.
Played with Carla McLeod, won Olympic medals with Carla McLeod, won world championships with her. Let's bring her in.
Hold on, get the glasses on. I'm just sitting in the you know why the glasses are so important? Because we had over at freaking time. So I got to make sure I see that red dot.
100%. I was going to say, if you weren't wearing your glasses, you might have started to swear. That's what keeps you from swearing, right?
It was like a 3-minute overtime, so that's not swear worthy.
Yeah. Thanks for saying freaking.
Yeah. We haven't even talked about that, but Himlarova, for some reason, between the end of regulation and the first overtime, threw out into the universe, I don't care if it's 2 overtimes or 5, we're going to be locked in. Everyone who was working the game was like, why would you say that?
Don't say that.
Why would you say that?
Exactly. Are you jinxing it? I mean, a 1-1 game, right? Those are the ones that are primed to go 4 overtimes. Like the last series, when you get 7-5 games, it's like it's going 2 minutes into overtime, right? You know it's going to end quick, but this series, our last series, meaning the last Minnesota-Toronto series.
Yeah.
But these 1-1 games, you're never quite sure. So,
well, and that's the thing. I texted you mid-game. I don't even know if you got it or if you were just totally ignoring my text. But I was like, is it just me?
In.
Yeah, you were. I literally texted you and you ignored it, and I was like, call me crazy, but this game's it was pretty vanilla. It was fun. It was a good hockey game, great hockey game to watch. But it was hockey. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there was nothing crazy going on. They were clogging up the middle of the ice. It was hard to get scoring chances. This was the Ottawa-Montreal series, and now Minnesota's a part of it. Yeah. Because you're not sure. Is it gonna be like the Minnesota-Toronto, and it's gonna be like run and gun, all sorts of goals, or are they gonna lock it down? I don't think you're gonna score too many right now, the way Phillips is playing. Yeah. So
but let's talk about it. First period, I felt like it was very much a feeling out period where everyone was kind of like, okay, hold on. How is this series going to be played? What is going on here? Everyone was kind of just like, whatever. Ottawa finished that period leading in shots 9-4, but that was the only period they really led in shots. Do you think Ken Klee and company made some good adjustments moving forward there?
Yeah, it was a momentum game. I thought when Ottawa did have their opportunities, that they scored that goal, and then they came down and they took over the momentum for a little bit. But Minnesota kind of took it right back. And same thing when they scored. They scored that goal and they took the momentum in the game for a little while. Both these coaches will play their whole bench.
Yeah.
And, you saw it on both sides where it's like, oh, this line's going, I'll throw them back out there. For Minnesota, that fourth line has been good all playoffs. They were good last year in playoffs. So, he puts them back out on the ice. And you need that. There's no way you're going, especially if this goes 5 games, you get overtimes. You can't be shortening your bench that often and think that players are going to last. So it's been pretty important. But, it was a well-played, well-coached game, I thought, on both sides.
Can you talk a little bit about Rebecca Leslie and what she's been able to do in front of her hometown crowd?
She gets elevated, first of all. So she's playing third line minutes. Because she took over Serdachny's spot in the lineup a little while ago. You see her skill. She's skilled, right? She's got some hands. She's nifty. And I love what she's done. But this is always how it is, right? You need someone to step up and be a bit of a hero in playoffs. So she pulled that puck in and threw it through Steckline's legs. Steckline was in perfect position, right? She's got the arm extended, the stick's in the lane, beat me if you can. And she did.
Longest stick in the league, too, by the way.
Longest stick. And so smart with it. I'm going stick on puck.
Yeah, I was trying to watch the replay on that. Did it go off of her stick? Did it change directions on Hensley, do you think? Or was that straight shot all Leslie all day, baby?
You know what? I thought it went straight up. That was my take on it. But, you could rewatch it and see. thought Hensley was maybe a little deep in her net to give up that top corner. But, this is me, the defender, not me, the goalie. So that's just my take on it. But I thought, maybe she was a little deep in the net. So, but just a beauty shot.
She was deep in the net for a good reason. And this was a part of my breakdown of that goal, is the fact that, one, they just killed off a penalty. So awesome turnaround and like getting it going. I love that she had a shot first mentality, because she had two players crashing the net. Hensley had to back up. Hensley couldn't stay out. She could not. Because Vanisheva was going to the net hard, stick on ice. And I forget who the other player was, but was following it up to perfection. And I was like, Hensley had no choice but to be where she was. Yeah,
fair enough. And you know what? And that's huge. And you get someone like Vanisheva who does crash the net. Minnesota's the same. They got a few players and Petrie and McQuaig and Curl that, they're coming hard to the front of the net. So you start to put pressure on a goaltender too, and you make them question. You wonder sometimes about those goals where you, like the overtime winner, where you start to catch a goalie off the post a little bit.
Yeah.
Was she thinking, like, who's coming net front?
Yeah.
And cheat a little?
Okay, I messaged in our group chat when this happened, but when Minnesota scored the goal in the third period and Gwyneth Phillips was out playing that puck, and this wasn't the first time it happened all game, it felt like the Ottawa defenders were not talking to her at all, and they were all just watching her. Like, remember Melody Davidson used to be like, move your feet, you get open and you give them options, and it better be more than one and you're talking. Or like, you're riding pine, basically. I literally texted the group. I'm like, Mel would have cut every single player out there mid-game and been like, pack your bags and go home. That's ridiculous. You left your goalie hanging. There was a moment after that where they showed Carla talking to the defenders on the bench, specifically Jocelyn Larocque, to like spread the word or whatever, since she's a leader back there. Did you feel after that they made a good adjustment in helping out Gwyneth back there?
Well, there's no more miscues, so it would appear that way, right? But you're right. It's all communication.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's the hardest thing, especially if you're coming back and your back's to the play too. If you haven't gotten your toe caps turned a little bit yet, then you don't necessarily know what to call. So the shoulder check and the quick call is huge, because a goaltender comes out of their net.
Give them something.
And you got to let them know. Like, you have to let them know.
Yeah.
So yeah, you would think that's just a topic of conversation. These players have been at it for too long. Like, we practice it with our junior team all the time, and it's a work in progress for sure at that level. But for these ladies, it's just a constant reminder.
Yeah.
What do you think of the way she responded after that, though? I was honestly most impressed by that. You could tell she was mad, but then she just locked in. It didn't seem to phase her much as soon as it was over. You know what I mean?
Do you know that's got to be the real mark of a good goalie?
Yeah.
That they can give up a weak goal, it can make a mistake, and it doesn't seem to phase them at all. And they just, next puck. That I find impressive, because it's not always the way. We've seen it in this league too, with goaltenders, where it rattles them. And if she doesn't get rattled, then her stock just went up even higher.
Yeah.
And it appears as though that was the case.
Yeah. And Emily Clark's goal in OT, I say it all the time in playoff hockey, it's all about puck management. And I felt like, and I said it to Julia before, whoever turns the puck over the least amount of times, 10 feet inside and outside of every blue line, is going to win. And in overtime, unfortunately for Minnesota, it was a turnover in that area. But Emily Clark, just talk about her performance so far, these playoffs.
Oh, she's fast, right? And she just drives play. So whether it be she's going to get in on the forecheck, she's going to enter the zone with speed. You saw it right off the drop of the puck in the third period, right? She comes in, picks the puck up, right? Winds it up into the zone, cuts to the middle, gets a chance. She had the wraparound chance. So I feel that she uses her speed and quickness so well. Tenacious. She threw a couple big hits. So, she was very visible in that game. We'd marked a lot of plays for her. So you're just hoping she does something big, because you're like, we mark that. Are we going to get to use this stuff? Like, she's done a lot of really good things. But you're right about those turnovers. And you remember, Tessa, what Mel used to call those?
Shit your pants zone.
That's right. I don't want to say it, but
I did.
That's what she used to, because when the forward turns it over there, it's the D backpedaling for all their life.
Yeah.
And going, oh God.
Yeah.
The big eyes.
Yeah, this is a zero-time goal. And like you said, her speed. Like, Sophie Jakes is no slouch on the back end, both offensively and defensively. And she just tried to push her to the outside. I'm guessing that Hensley was expecting a far side low pad shot, similar to one of the game winners that was scored against Montreal. and just beat her short side. Is that going to haunt Hensley? Do you think that's a goal where Ken Klee is going to be like, okay, Rooney, you're up?
Well, I mean, if it's anything like last year, he's going to change the goaltenders anyway, just because they lost game one. Seems to be what he did last game. It wasn't a good goal. I mean, to me, that's one she's got to have every time. And you look where Clark was. She was outside the dots and below the hash marks. So she was at a really bad angle. So that one's got to be saved. So it wouldn't surprise me, but it also wouldn't surprise me if he left her in there and gave her one more, right? Because I didn't necessarily think Rooney was spectacular in the first series, in her first game, and he gave her the second game, which was kind of surprising.
Yeah.
Do we think we saw either team's best game tonight, Becky? I feel like both. It was a great game. Like, I have no complaints. We said it as we came in. Like, we'll take 5 games of that all day. But it does feel like both teams have a little bit more to give here.
Yeah, I mean, it was kept to the perimeter a lot, and they clogged up the middle a lot. So can they get to the middle? Like, I guess that's what we wait and see.
Yeah.
Minnesota, the first game against Toronto, you thought, wow, like, look at Toronto go. And then there was another gear for Minnesota. So I'm going to guess that they have another gear. They did get some chances and get inside. So do they make an adjustment? I think you got to go upstairs on Phillips. So I think they got to find a way to put pucks up and hit their mark. But I think
it's funny because Minnesota's never out of it.
Never.
Ever. Last question before we let you go so you can run for your life. What adjustments do you think both teams are going to make moving forward into game 2? Because I'm assuming Ottawa is not just going to say, yep, we won, so we're all good, carry on. Like, you're adjusting game to game here.
Ottawa's got to figure out how to get out of their zone clean. Minnesota really does a good job of reloading above pucks and then attacking down and making it hard on the breakout. So they're taking away the wall. You try to go through the middle. They got someone locking that lane. So Ottawa's got to figure out how to get out clean. They've been much better in the playoffs with a quicker transition than they were in the regular season. And Minnesota just getting shots through. I think they got to the middle a few times. They had some good chances. They had the bulk of the zone time. Sometimes it's hard to generate scoring, though, when you have that, because you're not getting anything off the rush. You're in the zone and off the cycle. So shoot, crash, get your shots through, and see if you can figure out a way past Phillips upstairs, I think.
Yeah, it seems impossible right now, but wouldn't surprise me if Minnesota finds a way. They always seem to, and to Tessa's point, they never are out of it. Becky, appreciate you taking the time, as always. Great job on the broadcast guys. Tonight. No F-bombs on the post-game show. Like, great job.
We're all clean so far, everyone. We're all clean.
All clean so far.
Even Poundy, who's just up here.
You got to keep her out of your shot. She might start swearing. She can't be trusted. Thank you very much, Becky. You're the best. Becky Kellar, guys, she was on the panel for tonight's game in Ottawa. Ottawa takes game 1 over the Minnesota Frost in the Walter Cup Finals. It was an overtime game that somehow didn't go 4 or 5 overtimes, even though Clara Himlerova tried to will it that way. When she said that, I was like,
you texted me right away. You're like, why would she ever say that? Cry face. I was like, I know.
Do that.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to have Emily Clark on pretty soon. Before that, though, we wanted to let you know that Pizza has extended our beloved free delivery promotion into the Walter Cup Finals. So you guys, if you guys are in Canada, you're looking for a little late night pizza. If you're looking for a little pregame pizza on Thursday, enter the promo code PWHLDEL for online and in-app orders at checkout. Minimum $20 spend on game nights to take advantage of the free delivery promo. You guys know me and Tessa have been using this all PWHL playoffs, all
we don't
PWHL regular season. No, we don't. Ever.
And we want the tots.
We want the tots. We want the pizza. We want the wings, and we want delivery to be free. So PWHL game nights, Walter Cup Finals, guys. Use code PWHLDEL for free delivery at Pizza. Again, guys, Ottawa wins this one 2-1 in overtime over the Minnesota Frost. What else do you want to keep breaking down here, Tessa? There were a couple controversial calls. You want to throw those? Okay, let's get to those. Let's start with, I threw this one up on Twitter. Britta Curl, I thought it was a missed call. Here's her collision with Katarina Mrazova.
So my initial one was like, whoa, that's a knee. And then when they slowed it down and showed the other angle, she planted her knee out like that to stop. But look at how she followed through with her shoulder. Like, she wanted to run right through her. Like, in a proper hit. She didn't want it to be a clip. She wanted it to be shoulder through chest. Now, here's my thing. That's a penalty because it's 2 players going opposite directions, and you actually can't do that. in the PWHL. You have to be going in the same direction in order to lay a hit. Yeah, the knee was clipped. I think this was a missed call for a minor. Absolutely. Do I think it was a true attempt on a knee? No, just because her shoulder was before her knee. She was cutting back to get her, essentially. When it slowed down, I was like, oh, she's cutting back to get her, lunges with her shoulder. Knee gets her, knee on knee, brutal. You never want to see that ever. That's career-ending stuff, and it makes, I'm getting the EBGBs and sweaty just watching it.
Do you have to consider the history with this player, though?
What, for the central control room or for the disciplinary committee?
Because two of her...
Is that what you're asking me, or are you asking for a ref? Ref just calls the game as you see it.
No, I'm of course not asking about the ref. I'm asking about, like, she's been suspended after the fact twice. So I'm like, do they look at this a little bit more because of her?
I think it's for sure someone pinned it. Absolutely. In the disciplinary committee. There's no way that play will not be reviewed. Now, what they decide on it, I don't know. I do think that was a huge missed call. Because it was, if you don't want to call the knee, that's a trip. And if you don't want to call the trip, then
it was just egregious that nothing was called.
It's body checking, because you can't hit that way. That is an illegal hit.
Right. It wasn't that different from the Venisova one that got called not long after, right?
Yeah, not at all. And again, they aren't consistent referees game to game to game. So, you are going to see some calls differently, but that was a clip, if you will, but also Kendall Coyne was trying to cut back in. So to me, like, that upset me, because she was going in the right direction and trying to do the right thing, but the offensive player cut back into the middle and kind of put themselves in that situation. And that's just coming from a defender that likes to throw hits. And a big fan of both these players. And I don't want to see Kendall hurt.
No, of course.
And I don't want to see Venisova out of the game. But the curl one, to me, it was opposite direction. It was definitely a trip, definitely a body check to me. I don't know the full ruling on what, I'd have to pull up the rule book. I don't have it up here, but what would make it a kneeing penalty. However, the knee was pushed out. But like I said, it was for a cutback reason to line her up. Because if she got her full on, like, let's say she cut back properly and got her through the chest, 100%. Like, if she got all of her, that is 100% a penalty. There's no way that cannot be called. So the fact that she missed some of her, why is that not a call? Because the intent was there, and she did fall, and it was essentially a dangerous play.
Yeah. Lucky that Mrazova came back to the game after that. Didn't notice her a whole bunch, and I haven't looked at her minutes since.
She took another big hit behind the net in the second or third period, and she went right to the bench. She was slow getting up. Her team had to slow down at the blue line to dump it back in and create a forecheck again, and she went right to the bench, just kind of keeled over. So she took a couple big ones this evening. But what I love is that, I didn't see her shy away from corners after that. It's not like she was having this magnificent, flashy game, which I don't think anybody really did in this game right off the bat. Like, there wasn't one person consistently where I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. But there were players that I was like, they are playing great. And after that, I was like, nah, I don't know. She's going to start, the Homer Simpson moonwalk back into the bush. And she didn't do that. So props to her for sticking with. It's the playoffs after all. I mean, you got to be. If you're not, then grab a seat on the bench, next player up. 100%. I do want to shout out the fourth line, the Shepherd's line on Minnesota. I thought, and they were shout out by Nicole Hensley after their series clinching game in the semis. This line to me is just, I guess it's on both teams. There's their depth and the way these lines are just committed to their roles, and what they're being asked to do is awesome. I love it. So props to both teams. I thought this was a solid first game. Fans got a little bit of OT. There was a strange moment, though, in the third period with about 6 minutes left when Kelly Panic got a call for holding on Emily Clark, which was a great call. Clarkie made that call happen with her speed. And they were about to drop the puck, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, Rebecca Leslie's in the box, and everyone's like, what the hell's going on? And
it was so confusing, Tessa. I was texting you like, girl, what is going on?
I know.
I still don't fully understand.
Okay. So there are two things that could have happened. And I haven't gotten clarification on exactly what took place, but in talking with a lot of people at the league that are involved in disciplinary and CSR stuff. So what can happen is if the PWHL has like a zero tolerance policy on hits to the head with your stick, with your shoulder, cross check, punch, whatever it may be. And so either they called down or the back referee that didn't make the initial call decided to call a meeting. So either CSI called down and said, hey, we're going to assess a major. You missed this. There was a 2-hand to the head. They called a major. Now, when it is called a major, which is the right thing that they should have done, they have to review it. The referees get to review it and decide if it is a minor or a major. Okay. So if that's the case that CSR called down, cool. They called it down. Leslie's in the box. They get to review it and decide what the call is. Now, if the backup referee saw it and was like, oh, the upper ref that had the initial call is going to call both. And then they heard the ref only call Minnesota's, you saw all the refs converge and start talking.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I think that ref was like, hold the phone here. There was something that happened. And it didn't, and you missed it, didn't get called. I thought you were calling it. Sorry, my bad. Which initially you would think that the two referees would go, hey, did you get it? Did you call that other one? Do you know what I mean? There would be a conversation before the initial call was made over the little speaker.
Yeah. There was a linesman standing right there too, and I'm pretty sure linesman could.
The liney was in on the convo.
Yeah.
Brought everyone in. That's they assessed it. They decided it was only a 2-minuter. I asked then, okay, well, if that's the case, how come curls wasn't reviewed? And they're like, well, curls was not a hit to the head. So CSR, they're not going to go back.
This was my favorite moment of the game.
I know there's
right now we're showing a video of that blonde girl who was on.
She looks like she could be related to Renata Fast.
Oh my gosh, I love her.
Are you her cousin?
She had the glasses.
We need to know.
It's so funny that you'd say that because I messaged Renata Fast this weekend. Her family. This is like totally a side note, but she posted her family watching the Leafs Game 7 on like a blow up screen in their backyard. Just another moment of me wanting to be
a part of
a
their
member
family.
Of the Fast family. I messaged her. I was like, please, like, I'll dye my hair. I will, whatever it takes. I want to be a member of the family. That girl was so funny. She is a star. I don't know who she is. I hope the Charge have her at every single game. Like, I feel like she is going to be an Ottawa legend. And
speaking of stars.
Oh, nice.
I stole it from you.
Come on, Tessa.
Sorry.
How could you do that?
You're the host. I'm sorry.
How could you do that?
I regret that.
Speaking of Ottawa legends, we've got one in the lobby right now. Buckles insists that we refer to her as Sister Clark when we welcome her in. So welcome in Emily Clark. She gets the game-winning goal for the Ottawa Charge tonight to win their first goal in the PWHL Finals. Hi, Clarky. Buckles wanted to make sure that we welcomed you in by calling you Sister Clark. Congratulations. You get the OT winner to seal the deal on Ottawa's first win of the Walter Cup Finals. Can you walk us through just like the feelings and what it's like in Ottawa right now? I know it's a cheesy question, Emily, and like you talk about the fans all the time, but I truly did think that the building was going to collapse tonight when you got that goal.
Yeah, I mean, I love talking about our fans, so you can keep those questions coming. No, the energy was electric, like from the time we stepped on the ice, and there's such amazing fans, let alone after goals and kills. But we have some extended time in our D zone. They're getting on their feet. There's a penalty. They're booing the refs and stuff like that, and that just gives us energy and a little extra mojo and motivation to want to get it done for them.
Talk about Gwyneth Phillips' performance tonight and how that little mishap didn't rattle her at all, and just her mindset and how loosey-goosey she is and how that benefits your team.
Yeah, I mean, she's always calm, cool, collected. I know she would like to have that back, but I think the best thing about our team right now is anytime there's a little mishap or a misplay, we have each other's backs and we're going right back at it. So, we weren't worried about that, and we know no game's going to come easy, no win's going to come easy, so it was all good.
Yeah. Speaking of pops from the crowd, the hometown girl, Rebecca Leslie, getting a goal, getting into the gritty stuff a little bit. What's it like to see her being embraced by Ottawa and by her hometown?
Yeah, I mean, we're so happy for her. She scored 2 huge goals for us in the last 2 games, and you can tell the crowd has a little extra jump when the hometown girl scores. So an absolute snipe tonight from her too, which is pretty awesome to see, obviously.
I think Buck's got a little question for you. We can have her pop in here and ask Sister Emily a question.
Sister, congratulations on game 1. Amazing goal. I obviously have a huge hard-hitting question. Just curious.
Wait, are you going in and out of the country accent? I can't tell.
Yeah, what's happening?
Yeah, I am.
It's like
I
you
am.
started with it and then
I was like, I
commit
need to
either way,
stop.
Buckles.
I need to stop.
You gotta
No.
commit one way or the
No,
other.
I'm gonna be an adult. I'm gonna say things normally. Super serious question. Obviously you came out fiery in OT. What was the go-to song in the locker room just before you guys went out there?
So good.
The go-to song. We've been a little suspicious with our song that we go out to. A Buck Cherry song, Crazy.
Yeah, Crazy Bee.
Yeah, Crazy Bee.
Hey, you're crazy. Cool.
Did that
Hey,
start? Like,
yo.
is there a reason? Like, did you guys win a particular game before you went out to that song?
I think it just gets the girls going, and that 4 overtime game in Montreal, I don't know if that's when it started, but we heard it a lot that day. And it's just kind of it's held on.
I thought you were going to say "Party on You." I saw Zoe Boyd posting that pregame. I thought that was the pregame.
Well, of course, that gets
song.
girls going too.
Hey, yo.
That gets
Hey,
the
yo, whatever
girls
gets the girls going.
Yeah.
You need
Your
that.
line has been anything short of spectacular so far. So I know you've got obviously the responsibility to be shut down and just make the other team's top line hell, but that's the priority number one for your line. But when you guys, see an opportunity to jump on a little misstep or a mishap, like how much are you salivating at the bit in those moments? Like, is that when you're just like, yeah, baby, let me go, take the chains off?
Yeah, I mean, we just have so much fun playing together, and we absolutely just love our role, to be honest. Like that shutdown role, every time before every game, before the game, we just have like a little line meeting, hype each other up, and just embrace exactly what we're supposed to do. And I think a big part of our line success is kind of trying to stay above our checks, make it a hard night for them. But honestly, playing good defense kind of sets us up for good offensive opportunities if we can intercept a pass or transition to offense really quickly. So, of course, I'm really happy with how we're playing. But every day we're going to the drawing board and trying to see how we could do our job better.
Gosh, you're dialed in, Sister Clark. I just know that we're gonna keep getting more and more, and so I'm excited to keep cheering you guys on.
Thanks,
Let's
sister.
go now.
Yeah. What adjustments do you think your team's got to make in game 2 to make sure that you're successful, just based on what you saw from Minnesota in game 1?
I think classic hockey, chip pucks, get pucks deep.
Now, come on.
You're going to jail.
To be honest,
That's
I think
fine.
they have 2 great goalies. Hensley's a great goalie, and I think maybe we could have made her night a little harder tonight. So probably get a few more pucks on net and another classic. Sorry, but more traffic and a little more ozone time, I think.
Yeah, for sure, 110%. Hey.
110%.
So we here love factor meals for pre and post game. What's your post game? Just a dart and a Diet Coke?
Yeah. Both hands are just filled with my.
That's actually the breakfast of champions, to be so honest with you.
John Daly style.
Yeah, no, honestly, probably a Diet Coke. No, you guys know the menu at Kraft. Probably a burger and sweet potato fries, and maybe a Diet Coke.
Nachos.
Treat myself.
Those nachos were fire.
Yeah, I had the ribs there too that were just glorious.
Oh,
Nice.
Do you remember our waiter's name? What was that guy's name? Was it Andrew?
It was Andrew. I was going to say Andrew, so it's got to be that.
Great guy.
He was so nice.
Andrew, give him a little high
He
five and
filmed
a go
TikTok
team
for us.
Yeah, for you
Nice.
guys.
Yeah,
Thank
great
you.
dude. Go enjoy your burger, your dart, and your Diet Coke. Congrats on the big win, Clarky. Sister Clark, if you will.
Atta be Clarky.
Thanks,
Keep it going,
guys. I
buddy.
appreciate it.
Emily Clark, everybody. She got the OT winner for the Ottawa Charge tonight in their first win of the PWHL Finals. Buckles, I'm sorry I made fun of you there when you were like, you started in the Southern accent and then like it slowly trailed off. I've also been holding this comment in for like 5 minutes, but when you guys used to, when you played hockey as a kid and you'd have to go to like Canadian Tire or some store and like hold a bucket of money and like sell candy or something.
Yes.
That's what you guys look like right now. If
Yeah.
you're listening to this via podcast, Buckles and Tessa are wearing our lovely Jocks and Jills jerseys with hoodies underneath. And they look like they're doing Penny Day or whatever it's called.
Someone, hi, would you like to support our hockey team? Oh, you don't want to change? Just tap? Okay.
Someone said we look like Jedis in the chat.
Yeah.
Hey, I saw Tessa.
By the way, guys, Jocks and Jill's merch is available online in Canada and the USA, so make sure you check out.
These are the bad guys, though. The Siths. Guys, I'm learning all about this stuff.
Stop it. You guys look like suspect Kermit. And why didn't you tell me you guys were going to match tonight? Like, I would have worn the same outfit.
I was unaware. Look at the hats on you.
You guys got to get the merch.
The merch shop looks so good, Buckles. You're looking so good tonight. You got any sales on or anything that
new
you do for one specials?
New inventory got in, and I'm fired up. The hats, incredible edition. You must get one for the golf course this summer.
Fair enough.
I love it. Buckles, you want to break anything down?
Break it down now, Buck.
For a couple minutes here?
I'm wearing so many hats tonight.
So sorry. I really put you on the spot. You are wearing a lot of hats. Buckles wears so many hats for us guys. She does so much. She helps us with social. She helps us with
Before Buckles starts with anything, I just got to give Leanne Grummert a shout out. She watched the game on her tablet from her hospital bed.
Oh my gosh.
She's having her gallbladder removed first thing in the morning. She was like, oh, I am not missing the Frost play. And she's jumping in, listening to the Jocks and Jills recap. What a legend.
Leanne, oh my gosh.
You're
feeling
better,
girl. We really appreciate dedicated PWHL fans. We love you guys so much. Doing these post-game lives is so fun. I feel like we have like a group chat going with 2,000 people.
A bunch of friends we've never met before, and we love them all.
I'm like, everybody tell me the tea. Let's go
tell
on.
us the tea.
Spell it.
Tell us.
I gotta say,
whenever I
too,
look down at the chat and I don't know what the inside joke is, I start to freak out. I'm like, whoa, I need to understand what's going on.
I expected Buckles' bun to be top head, by the way, just based on the Ottawa win.
That's actually so true.
However,
that's a little bit of a lackluster
I
bun for the type
respect
of
and
day.
understand the mid because she does have pals, a good pal in Dominique Petrie that plays for the Frost. So I don't think she wants to offend any of her little gal pals.
That's actually true. We should make that clear. Buckles isn't as biased as we make her.
She's just working both sides. Eh?
She will. As soon as Minnesota
Buckles
wins, we'll have like one of those players on and Buckles will work with us.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. I just hope everybody has fun, you know?
Yeah. Wherever the after party is for whoever wins, Buckles is going to be there. Hats on, tarps off, probs.
Absolutely.
Jocks and Jill Sports
Hopefully
bra.
I'll have no merch by then because I'll sell it all out. So yeah, that's the plan.
Hopefully you'll just be tarpless.
We should make Jocks and
I'll sell the shirt off my own back for this group. I'll
You're
do
so
it.
dedicated, Buckles.
Game
You're just
worn.
the best.
Game
ward for
worn.
us is like live stream ward. And you know what's the worst? I'm still sweaty.
I was gonna say,
game ward,
you wouldn't
live
want
stream
it.
ward stuff would literally still be sweaty.
Yeah.
Okay, Buckles, what do you want to break down? Who did you like from this game?
There was so much I loved about this game. I will say they did play it safe. Tessa mentioned it a little bit. You could definitely tell that they were feeling it out and seeing, who was going to make the first mistake a little bit. But I love Jocelyn Rock's play tonight.
Good
Just put up like 20 plus minutes. She makes it look easy to do. It's not easy to do that. I want to re-emphasize that to the viewers. Put that up. She made a really good play for the first goal. She stretched the ice, and that's what allowed them to have that quick break 2-on-1, which kind of turned into a 2-on-2, but gave them that opportunity to set up Leslie for that snipe. And so, yeah, she had a great stick, was defensively sound, and I liked it. She was getting up in the rush as well and making the forwards on Minnesota kind of pivot their heads and, had to be wary whenever she was out there, both on the defensive and offensive end.
That's what I love about her game and how it's evolved is she's added that offensive flair that wasn't always a part of her game.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, now you got to worry about her in more ways than one. And the beautiful part about her is she's a coach's dream because at any point in the game, whether you're up a goal, down a goal, 6-on-5, 5-on-4, 5-on-3, whatever, you can always look on the bench and be like, I'm cool to put Jocelyn the Rock out there. So solid pick on breaking that down, Bucks. That's a very good choice.
Love that. Buckles, we'll get you back in a moment. We have some news to go through. We have some lists to share with you guys, re-expansion, so we'll get to those in a minute. Let's do your factor of the game first, Tessa. Factor of the game is brought to you by Factor Meals. Heat, eat, compete. Clean eating made easy with chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals from Factor. We love Factor so much. They keep us healthy throughout the week. When we're not ordering pizza, we're making our Factor meals. So that's kind of the balanced life of Tessa and Julia here at Jocks and Jills.
Heat, eat, compete, repeat. And this player has been a repeat stud this entire playoff season. Emily Clark, sister Clark, I'm not sure what she calls her, but for more reason than one. Yeah, the OT winner, cool, great. But like Becky Kellar said, she was just constantly doing all the right things. She's so fast that she makes players literally hold on to her. And that's what Kelly Panic had to do to her through the neutral zone there, because you knew she was a threat. She cuts to the net. She's playing so sound defensively, just making the opponent's top line lives hell. And that is playoff hockey. That is a leader. That's definitely with, expansion coming up, making, the brass, the front office really think about, okay, well, who's important here that we need to protect for longevity of the success of this team. Emily Clark is really proving to Ottawa and her teammates that, she's just not along for the ride. She's here to win it all, and she means it. And I love that she's benefiting from all of this hard work that she's put in. And she's just so humble. And if you're looking for a player for your kid to look up to, male or female, don't care. Emily Clark is it. She does work off the ice, on the ice. She's always got a great demeanor. Tough to find a clip where Emily Clark isn't smiling. I mean, she could take probably the biggest hit in the whole world, and she's like Renata Fast. She'll get up smiling. So yeah, just her effort, her leadership, big game goal scoring. I just love everything about her game, and she's done nothing but turn heads for me. So Emily Clark, you are my factor of the game. Brought to you by Factor Meals. Heat, eat, compete, and repeat. Keep repeating, and you might be hoisting that Walter Cup, baby.
We love it. We love it. Factor Meals, guys. Clean eating made easy with chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals from Factor. I have to say, too, Emily Clark might be the only person in the PWHL that has a more iconic bun than Buckles. I think she's the only person.
Yeah. I mean, who was it? Someone got she got her face tattooed on her leg with the bun.
Needs the bun. I don't even really know what Clarky looks like with her hair down, to be totally honest with you.
I think she walks in with it sometimes down, doesn't she? Does she? Am I wrong? I might be way off.
No, you are. I just I'm having a hard time visually. I literally have no idea what length her hair is.
Yeah, if she walked in with her hair down, you'd be like, "Who's that?"
It could be down to her ass, and it wouldn't shock me. I have no idea what actual length it is. I don't know what length. Same thing with Buckles. I was thinking about this the other day. Buckles, can you come in here? I have no idea how long your hair is. Can you take it down? Can you do a hair reveal?
Here. I'm gonna guess above boob.
You guys
is it really long?
No, it's above boob.
Oh no, it's actually really long. But
hair reveal.
You guys will see it when when I'm watching Jackie get the mullet in Ottawa. How about that?
Wait, you won't do it? Is it a secret?
Is your hair a secret?
You're like Regina George?
I kind of want to blow it out with the Ninja.
Oh yeah.
If I'm gonna do it,
Ninja.
It's gonna look
Shark
like
Beauty. Ninja's Kitchen.
Oh.
Get with it, Buckles. Jeepers.
You can't air fry your hair.
I mean, we can attest.
It might look good.
I'm just kidding. When I was a kid, I honestly, I was just going to say that.
I was going to say, Julia, I'll let you style it and we'll do it for the next live.
Okay. Best idea ever.
Whoa.
I'm going to look so cute and straight.
So sassy.
I don't know.
So cute and straight.
It took me a second to get that because I thought you actually want me to straighten your hair. I think we'll do a curled look.
No, I want a full blowout.
Okay, we can make that happen.
Yeah. Girls for the girls. Get it going.
Shark Flex styler and get you all curled up. You guys got anything else on game 1 here? Ottawa takes the win.
I expect I don't know why. I think game 2 is going to be totally different. I don't know why.
In what way? You think they're mostly
physicality, and I think Minnesota's really going to start driving the net hard on Phillips, like skates through the blue paint all the time, just harassing her in front. The way on the Shepherd's goal when they dumped it in, I think they're going to use that play to their advantage, where they're dumping it in and making Phillips come out of the net, and they're going to force Ottawa's defense to try and play properly back there, because that Shepherd's line played that to perfection. And that's what I think. I think it's going to be a lot different that way. Do I think Ottawa can rebuttal? Absolutely. But I think that's the way Minnesota is going to come out, because they don't want to go home down 2-0 in the series and have to play in front of their home fans for their lives.
I also think we're just going to see more risks. I think it was just they're just feeling it out tonight. Obviously a lot of nerves going into the finals, but I just think that we're going to see more active game and physicality, like Tessa was saying. I think we're going to see a couple more scrums. People aren't going to be happy with a couple of those hits that took place in game 1, and they're going to set the precedent.
Yeah. Sorry. While you guys were talking, I spit laughing at this comment from Amy Grace. Hair down to her feet. That bun is the size of a cantaloupe.
And you know what?
It's so secretive. Like the bun is
is.
just getting more mysterious by the moment.
I have a bunch of secrets in it. That's
I've
why I don't
never
want to take it out.
I've never seen you with your hair down ever.
Yeah, I mean, it would be unfair because I would look so amazing and
Okay.
everybody else. Yeah, so
You don't
want to
make me feel bad.
Yeah,
You're
that's why I keep it
Tessa's
up.
old. She's got wrinkles. She's washed up. I shouldn't do it.
We're
But I
all
will
gonna-
see it actually. Buckles is coming out to Shirley Gurley's ball hockey on Wednesday. So shower up, Bucks. I'm gonna see your hair.
Cannot
So
Tomorrow
long.
night,
wait.
you guys are gonna be such hurting units for her live stream on Thursday.
That's what
We're gonna
caffeine
both
is
be
for.
like hoods up.
And Red Bulls.
No, I mean like physically, like your bodies.
Yeah, they hurt after.
Oh,
you guys
I
are
went the
gonna-
other way with that.
Yeah.
Like you guys are gonna be like those like
No.
bandaged people from SpongeBob that are just in their little wheelchairs being wheeled around. Anyway, some news happened in women's hockey over the last couple days. Let's get into some of them. Coach of the Year finalists were announced, guys. Troy Ryan of the Toronto Scepters, Carla McLeod. The Carla was right about everything signed. Rings true today as she becomes one of the Coach of the Year finalists. And Corey Chevry from the Montreal Victoire are your 3 Coach of the Year finalists. A little bit of a funny award in a league where there's 6 head coaches, but
Yeah.
they're all really good in a league where there's only 6 coaches. In fairness,
Yeah. I think it's going to come down to Troy Ryan and Corey Chevry. If I'm being honest, I think Troy Ryan might take this one, but I think Corey's got a chance. Obviously, Carla McLeod doing great things and earned her name in the mix here, having her team bounce back the way they did and punch their ticket into the playoffs the way they did. But for me, it's going to come down to the 2 teams that finished top 2, just doing the things that they did.
Yeah, we'll
in the
see.
regular, because this is all regular season stuff, people. This has nothing to do with playoffs.
That's the thing that's tough. It's so hard not to let the playoffs skew your perception of
I
these
know.
awards, but when it comes to voting, guys, to Tessa's point, shouldn't be considered at all. So make sure you keep that in mind as the finalists are announced for all these various awards. And again, the awards are happening draft 24th, awards 25th. Do I have
Yep.
that right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Amazing. In Ottawa, where the finals are right now. So
Yep.
it's going to be lit. This was news that came today. That was not terribly shocking news, but anytime we talk about the GOATs retiring and their careers starting to wind down, it makes me want to cry a little bit. And today, Hilary Knight confirmed to USA Today Sports that the 2026 Olympics in Italy will be her final Olympic Games. She said, "It's time. I've grown up in this program and it's given me so much. I'm at peace. I just have this feeling that it's time, and I'm grateful that hopefully I can stay healthy and everything. I can go out when I'd like to be done. This is such a privilege that only a handful of competitors get." So her last Olympics, that doesn't mean it's going to be her last PWHL season by any means. We might see her rocking with the Boston Fleet, or we'll talk about expansion in a second and how the hell that's going to shake out, because that's definitely going to throw a wrench in things. But Hilary Knight, her final Olympics, it's hard to fathom. Like, I remember her coming onto the scene. And
Yeah,
she's
so do I.
just such
Nightmare.
a legend for
Such a pain in the ass to play against.
American
2
hockey.
things shocked me with this announcement, just the timing of it on
Mhm.
game 1. Like, you could have, it could have been announced at any time, regardless. Number 2, I was expecting her to be like, yeah, and I'm going to join the Jocks and Jills podcast, or like, I hope they'll have me. That's what I was expecting. I mean, call me crazy, but
I
like,
know. We'll
hell,
have to get on
if you
her
want to
about
announce
that.
that before game
One
2.
of 2 things.
Please, hell. She
Doors
mentioned in the
open.
article she enjoys her analyst work with ESPN. And she's
Yeah,
gotten so good with that. Like,
She
you
does
see it
good
in her
stuff.
interviews and stuff, even. Like, seeing Hilary come into her own in the last like 4 or 5 years has been so cool. Like, she's always been a legend, but she was always like a little bit mysterious. The way that she's just completely owned who she is as a person and who she is as a player over the past couple seasons has been it's been really special to see.
and I love that when you posted that on the internet, you used the picture of her with her shiner. It's just like,
it was such a
Iconic.
good
I
pick.
knew. I was like, there's no way Julia would pick any other picture. Like, she's just all about the black eyes. It's hilarious.
I
There's
love it
nothing
so
more
much.
bad something than that.
Yeah, dude. So are the 2026 Olympics going to be like a Last Dance vibes
What, in terms of what?
in terms of the core, like the cores that we kind of know for Canada and the USA? I'm mostly thinking about Poulin night.
I mean, is Pooh going to go another 4? I don't know. I don't think she'll announce right
Yeah.
after or before. No way. But I will say this, Hilary announcing this, like, you want to talk about putting money on the block. For anyone that doesn't know what that means, it's when
Mhm.
before a game, a player, coach, trainer, anybody can throw a wad of cash and people can match and add to it before a game. And if we win, this money goes towards our year-end party. This is like the ultimate money on the block for USA to go and win this. Tell me there isn't going to be a player on that team that is like, we're getting this for Hill. Like she's owed this from us for everything she's done, for helping getting the P-Dub going, for in 2017, boycotting that Worlds up until like the last minute and some, to get proper contracts in place to help the ladies be funded properly and marketed properly. Like there's a lot that this human being has done for not only women's hockey, but women's sports. And they're going to want to celebrate with her in the right way. So they've got a ton of ammo. And I would be shocked if this team came out flat at the Olympics, like especially Hillary. She's popping off if she's healthy. Like, watch out.
Oh, it's gonna be a monster performance. It's so weird to think. Like I similarly to Julia, there hasn't been a time that I've been watching hockey and she hasn't been on Team USA. So to think that era is coming to a close is wild to me. And just the landscape of USA hockey is gonna change, and they're gonna give it their all going into 2026 here.
Yeah,
for sure. So congratulations. Congratulations, Hillary Knight, on being Hillary Knight, but we still get to watch her play for a while. Thank you for mentally preparing us for this. It's honestly really nice of her.
We appreciate it.
Really nice to ease us into the idea.
Julia's got like
time.
2 months worth of content ready. Don't worry.
I know. It really does give us some time, not only to make content, but to emotionally prepare ourselves for these things. Speaking of emotionally prepare ourselves, a conversation that you have all been asking for in the chat throughout the duration of this entire podcast episode. Expansion is here. It is official. The expansion rules have been announced. I'm going to start by going over the rules that were announced on Monday of this week. On June 3rd, guys, every PWHL GM of the original 6 teams will submit their list of the 3 initial players that they have opted to protect. Once a team loses 2 players, they can protect an additional player, so a 4th player. The full list of players who are eligible to be protected, if you guys want to take a look at it, is available on the PWHL's website. Then on June 4th, the exclusive signing window opens. That window is open for 5 days. When Seattle and Vancouver will have the opportunity to sign unprotected players or players on expiring contracts. And then the actual expansion draft happens on June 9th, when both Seattle and Vancouver have to end up with at least 12 players on their roster, or will end up with 12 players on their roster, not at least 12 players on their roster, period. So that makes it really crazy for PWHL GMs. So we know that this is probably a really emotional time. And also, can you guys hear my cat meowing occasionally? I don't know what he's whining about. Like, I don't know.
Is it Mowgli?
Yes, Big Mo's being very needy right now. Like, I don't know what his deal is. Players are really emotional about this right now, and I don't blame them. Like, this is a pretty uncertain time for players, of course. Okay, so there's my cat. He just made an appearance on the Postgame live show. Lots could change for PWHL players in the next couple weeks here. There's a lot of uncertainty right now. I thought Erin Ambrose was so good at Locker Room Cleanout today, talking about the feeling around expansion and kind of the feeling around the protected player list. I just wanted to play this from her availability today, just kind of giving the vibe around what the feeling is around expansion and the players who are going to be selected.
Have you had any conversations with management about your future?
We had our exit meetings. I mean, I'm not going to straight up assume that one way or the other. I think for me that, again, if we look around our locker room, I think all of us could probably collectively agree on who the 3, in my opinion, if I was a GM, who I would protect. And in Anne Renee, Stace, and Pooh, if that happens, it's definitely not a bad choice. So I think I'm not oblivious. I'm not going to kind of shy away from that. But at the same time, like, I know that a lot of the things too are also out of Danielle's hand and management's hand at this point.
So just like such an honest and vulnerable player, I love Erin so much, but just kind of gives a look at the inside of what the players are dealing with right now as they prepare for this expansion. I know the fans are kind of emotionally reeling in terms of, oh my gosh, my emotional support player might be stolen by Seattle or Vancouver. And it's kind of horrible.
And who do I cheer for now?
Yeah. So no, the players are in the same boat, I guess, is the point of what I'm saying. Where are you guys at with these expansion rules? Were you surprised when it came out that it was only going to be 3 players?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be 4. Just for the fact that my initial thought was like, well, this is completely unfair. Seattle and Vancouver are going to be so stacked. But then I was like, well, Tessa, think about it. Hold the phone. Like, there is a salary cap in place, and the salary cap is going to limit them on. They're not just taking all of the best players that they can, because they're not going to be able to stay under the cap. So they need to strategically pick players and keep their team under the cap, because then they're still going to have to enter the regular draft and draft players and pay them as well. So there's a lot more to it than just, oh, this is totally unfair. They're going to win in season one because they're going to pick all the best players. They're going to get every best player. Their top two lines are going to be first lines. Like, I've heard a lot of this, and I get it, but that is going to be very difficult to do with the salary cap in place. So I just want to preface all of it with that. Now, for those that are like, what the heck? What is the salary cap? So basically, season one, hold on, Jana actually sent me some info, because I was like, I don't want to break news if news is to be broken here, but she was basically like, it's public knowledge. It's average salary multiplied by 23 players. So in season one, it was 1.265. Season two, it was 1.3, just over. And then season three will be 1.34 and change. So there's a 3% escalator every year for all teams. But with that being said, when I was going through these lists thinking like, okay, who the heck am I protecting? If I'm a GM, what's my thought process? And your thought process absolutely has to be longevity, because you're looking to the future. And like, while it may be very tempting and you may think like, I have to do this, if you expect a player to retire after 2026, you cannot protect them. Cannot. There is no way, shape, or form you should or could be doing that, because you're doing your team a disservice moving forward. And to start it off, Minnesota, the first team I looked at, I was like, holy smokes, this team, oh my gosh, what in God's name? And I'm still not even convinced on who I have picked, because I'm looking around the league thinking, okay, what goalies are going to be plucked? How the heck is this going to happen? The first two people that came to my mind were Taylor Heisey and Lee Stecklein. Those are the first two people that I would protect on this team, just for leadership and future. And then I was like, okay, they've got two goalies, one of which that can't be protected in Maddie Rooney, because she's not under contract. So you have Nicole Hensley sitting there. And how tempting is that? Now, albeit if Hensley goes, you can still have an opportunity to sign Rooney, right? Hoping to God these other teams during that signing period don't throw the bank at her, right? And she decides to walk. That's my thing. The other thing I looked at was like, okay, then we got Kelly Panic, who you absolutely need. And you got Sophie Jakes, who is like so important on the back end. So you don't just find defenders like her anywhere. She's a freaking unicorn, and she is great at the game. And she's in my opinion, a defender that you build a team around as well. So I can only truly sit on two players right now, because I can't decide who else to protect, and Nicole Hensley, Kelly Panic, or Sophie Jakes. So my two that I had off the bat were Taylor Heisey, Lee Stecklein. People are probably yelling at me right now, like, what about Kendall Coyne? I don't see Kendall Coyne going much further than this Olympics either. She's got a young family. This has been very difficult. Yes, she's passionate about this league, but I could see her pulling the plug at some point, and maybe taking a role within the league, or maybe with us on Jocks and Jills. Again, ladies, just throwing it out there if you're listening. But that's my 2 cents. I've got no insight on that. That is just my picks. What were yours, Bucks? Who did you think you'd protect on Minnie?
Oh, well, even you running through that, it's making me second guess my picks. I just definitely don't envy the GMs right now in the position that they're being put in. No. But yeah, right away, I thought about protecting Heisey and Jakes. Those are my two. That's the future, and what I see. And I was on the fence with Coyne, but I still had her protected, because I mean, I just see her playing for as long as she wants. She still looks fresh out there and is the fastest player right next to fast in this league. So she gets to decide how long she wants to play, essentially.
Yeah.
Does Thompson cross your mind at all for Minnesota?
Totally, but I think you just have to accept you're going to lose either Claire or Lee, or both, if you don't protect them. And that's just the reality.
This is such a depressing game. This might be the most depressing game
but
I've ever played.
you know what you're hoping for?
I'm not joking.
I want to be done this game.
Do you know what? Yeah. Do you know what you're hoping for? You're hoping that, okay, maybe whoever you don't protect on the front end, they're gonna snag a forward like Kendall, and then they're gonna take either Claire or Lee. So you're gonna be able to protect one of them,
Right.
right? Because the
Also-
second you lose 2 players, you get to protect one more.
We also have to consider Claire Thompson and her medical school journey as well. So
Correct.
when talking about her, she's a young player, but how many years she'll be playing was questionable as well.
Ottawa, let's go with the other team in the finals.
Yeah. So this was another one for me. Gwyneth Phillips, hands down, absolutely. Emily Clark, hands down, absolutely. Those are my 2 right off the bat that I was like, boom, boom.
Cool.
And then call me crazy. I had Anna Meixna or Aneta Teralova as my last 2. And those might be off the board, but I've got reasoning for it. I don't know how much longer Jocelyn Rock's playing. That was one of the reasons. Otherwise, she would have been 100% on my list. And I would have, if I was a GM and a leader, I would sit her down and be like, you need to be honest and truthful with me. What are your plans? Because I need to know if I'm protecting you or not. And don't just give me the answer I want to hear. Like, give me the honest to goodness truth. Because if she plans on playing 4+ more years, cool. Protecting you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Buck?
Bucky?
I'm hopping in with you with Phillips, Clarkey, and I'm gonna say Belzy as a young defender. I think just the leadership skills that she brings to the locker room as well. It's just she's an overall great player on and off the ice, and I think will be such an asset for them going forward. So that's my only addition.
And she's been playing great lately.
Yeah.
I find after the Worlds, once she wasn't selected to play on that team, her play completely escalated and has done nothing but impress me. I feel like she was quiet for the first major chunk of the season. And then all of a sudden it was like, wowza, okay, there's her potential.
This is like so crazy to me because then you think about Gabby Hughes.
I was just
Brianna
going to
Jenner,
say, I feel
it's-
like Gabby Hughes is
how
such
much
a big
longer is
piece
Jenner
of-
playing?
Yeah, that's the thing about Jenner. We're not in the locker room, Buckles, but it seems like Gabby Hughes is kind of the glue gal in there.
Yeah.
Do you have to consider that sort of thing?
I definitely think you do, but at the same time, I think it's so hard when it comes down to these things. I think you're looking at like a point production person, a solid defender, and a goalie. And so and Clarkey is such a huge asset when it comes to the front line. And I think they got such great defensive depth that they have to protect one of their Ds as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Montreal. Aaron Ambrose says it's going to be Pooh, Stace, and Anne Renee. What say you,
I don't think
Jocks
so.
and Jill's panel?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think
I don't
so.
know either.
We've talked about this. Like what? I mean, I get it, the Pooh and Stacy thing, but is that because you feel like you owe it to Pooh to keep them together? I don't know. Is that the best thing for your team moving forward? Because you're for sure losing Aaron Ambrose and Kayla Barnes before anybody on this team.
Yep. That's
Do you know what I
you
mean?
have to do.
Mhm.
And like I said, good defenders that can immediately come in and impact the play, which is Kayla Barnes. She's proven that very well. And Aaron Ambrose, they like a solid D core on a team will bring you success. And that's what these two are. So if you leave those two unprotected, both Seattle and Vancouver are going to be like, thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Montreal might be in the toughest position.
And those are your first two gone for sure. And then what? You can protect two. Okay, so they pick those two, let's say, gone. Who's your next protector? Are you protecting Jen Gardner? Are you protecting Abby Boreen?
But you're not protecting Gardner or Breen if you already are protecting two main forwards. Like,
Do you know what I mean? Who are you protecting?
Right. Right.
So I went with protecting Kayla Barnes. I went with protecting Anne Renee Desbiens, household name, best goalie in the world, one of, and Poulet.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Tessa.
Nice. On all
Unfortunately.
three there, Buckies, or would you change Kayla Barnes for
all
somebody?
three. Yep.
Yeah.
And
to
would I
your
be
point about
surprised?
longevity,
Yeah, would I be surprised if we're wrong? No. But do I think it's the right thing to do? Yes.
No, we're never wrong. on this
Yeah.
we've
podcast.
never been wrong. Even if the GMs choose differently,
Yeah.
they're wrong, not us, obviously. Okay, so that's Montreal. Let's go to Toronto. This is an interesting one, too. What do you think here?
Two people came to mind right away, and the third is Yahtzee it. Renata Fast and Daryl Watts absolutely need to be protected, and the rest, you can pick whoever you want.
So we've set a goalie for every other team, but no, you don't think, like, is it possible that we see Toronto not protect a goalie?
I think it's very much possible.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so too. I think they're in an interesting spot with the goaltender position right now because they got four goalies that are pretty good.
Totally, they got Cassidy Sauvé there.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? That they signed as a off of reserve as a backup for playoffs, and she can play. So she already knows what it's like to be in that franchise and knows what it's like. They know she can play. She's a good goalie. She's a good tendy, former Buckeye. Yeah, I just think that, and there's a couple good goalies in the draft as well that are there. So I think there's going to be a lot of other goalies that are up for grabs around the league that I don't think Toronto needs to be worried about theirs.
Fair enough. Enough. What do you think, Bucks?
Yep.
Same thing?
Yeah, I'm with you on Watts and Fast right away. And
yeah.
The third that comes to mind, but I would agree, Yahtzee it, but Turnbull, she's just such a great leader.
So true.
Brings so much to that locker room, and I think she's just been such a core part of this Toronto team. To lose her would be tough.
Turnbull, Spooner, Malte, there's no right choice here in my mind. It is so freaking hard.
My palms are sweating right now.
I know.
Talking about
this. You guys are getting more merch. Like, this
then
is
you're
going to
lose
stuff.
Here. Yeah, I know. You could lose Savannah Harmon, who was great for you. Like Sarah Nurse. Like, man, this is not fun. This is. But it will
guys,
be.
We have to get this over with.
Everyone's going to be mad and upset about this. But listen, season 3 is going to be like so fun.
It's going to be insane. And I can't even think about those opening nights in Seattle and Vancouver when the puck drops in those cities to see players in those new jerseys and those new barns.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be unreal. Let's finish this depressing exercise.
Wait, one more thing. When I said to protect Meixna, it was because I know teams are going to have to build like third and fourth lines and like second lines or whatever, and obviously stay under the cap. And I think she's going to be a very sought after player to fill those roles. So, and you don't want to lose those. Those are hard to come by too. That's 100%. It. Okay, carrying on. Who do we have left?
Boston.
Oh, this one. Oh,
hey, yo.
Yeah.
So I went Megan Keller.
Okay.
Erin Frankel, Hannah Bilka.
3 for 3 again with me.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about Bilka, you and me.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, Hillary Knight, what? And it's like, she's got 1 year left. She's already announced she's going to, we don't know what her PWHL future is. Don't know. We do know her girlfriend's on the West Coast, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Believe so.
So Seattle makes sense to me for her. Or Vancouver, really. It's West Coast.
And just Bilka, she was injured for a chunk of this year, but this kid is a stud and is going to be a huge future piece for this organization.
Yeah.
You go Keller over Tapani just as a result of the position?
Tapani is not a protected player.
Free agent.
You can't protect her, so that's scary. That's terrifying. And that's why you protect Bilka.
That's terrifying.
Right?
Right.
Even more.
Like, for sure, exit meetings with Tap were like, we're going to give you money. Don't go anywhere. Like,
just like sliding your $5 bills across the table.
Yeah, just random bags of money showing up at our door every morning. From boosters, Boston boosters.
The Boston boosters are serious. Like, I can see them doing that.
Venmoing euros.
You need a car? What do you need? New house? Let's do this thing.
What do you need? What do you need?
Yeah.
Okay, New York's got an interesting situation. What are you guys looking at there?
Fillier, Carp, and Shelton. Done.
Really?
Yeah, no question about it.
I had Fillier, Carp, and Schroeder. Because
Country
Schroeder's, I mean, she just like she's been having such a great PWHL career so far. And like we were talking about with goalies, like, I mean, that's such an essential piece to the whole game itself. So but at the same time, when you look at their defenders, Jamie Bourbonnais, Ella Shelton, I'm like, you don't want to lose any of them either. So it's,
Can't lose Shelton.
No.
Cannot. No chance. You lose that, like I said, defenders that can do two things. She's like a Sophie Jakes to me, comparable. Same. You don't lose that.
So how do we feel after destroying everyone's dreams for the night?
And
I don't
sweet
think it's
dreams,
going to
everyone.
be, everyone's freaking thinking they're going to lose their first two lines, and that's not the case for everybody. Everyone's going to lose third, fourth line players, a first line player, and a second line player. Like
Yeah.
it's going to be very spread out. It will be. So don't hit the panic button. Let's watch this all play out. My thing is the signing. My thing is the signing period to me is far more scary. It's far more scary than this. So we'll see. And then again, we don't know how Vancouver or Seattle is going to slot into the draft as well. So that to me too plays a part. When we get all that info, by the way, we were going to have Jane on to talk about this, but we want all the info before we have her on to break it all down now. The other thing with Hillary is her parents live in Idaho. One of my buddies just messaged me. And so that just makes sense. Be close to that. But I feel like girlfriend reigns supreme in this category.
I agree. And they're both West. So very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Before we keep going on this episode of our live post-game Jocks and Jills, we want to take a moment or two to tell you about a very special cause. The 14th annual Princess Margaret Road Hockey to Conquer Cancer, fueled by Longos, is coming up this September 27th, 2025 at the Vaughan Metropolitan Center. This is such a fun tournament, guys. It's a one-day event with over 1,800 participants and 150 teams coming together to fundraise for cancer research and play road hockey alongside draftable celebrities. PWHL stars going to be in the house, guys. Blair Turnbull, Renata Fast, some NHL alum will be there. We have officially recruited Buckles to our PWHL team. Tess and I are going to be there. Like, we will be playing some serious road hockey, and you know, we'll be going hard in the paint. The Princess Margaret Road Hockey to Conquer Cancer, fueled by Longos, is the world's largest street hockey fundraiser. And if you guys want to sign up, use promo code PWHL for 50% off your team's registration fee. Head to roadhockeytoconquercancer.ca and use promo code PWHL. While every person has their own reason for playing, we are all on the same mission to create a world free from the fear of cancer. They do so much amazing work at Princess Margaret. Like, their research there is so incredible. They change lives every single day. So these events are so important, and like road hockey as a fundraiser, I can't imagine anything better. I used to have to jump ropes in elementary school. It was terrible. Or like a dance-a-thon. I didn't really like those either. But road hockey, all day, every day, baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You guys remember the dance-a-thon when you were a kid?
Theo had one at school and he said he won it. And I was like, I don't think there's a winner in a dance.
Well, if he said it, I believe him.
I was going to say,
does that mean he just danced the most?
You got a competitor.
He likes to dance. Guy loves to break dance. I mean, there's some unique moves that take place. However,
yeah,
he loves it. He gets sweaty. He's a worker.
That's so good.
Yeah, he's going to be that sweaty guy on the D floor. Everyone's going to be like, give that guy space. Takes after his mom.
Are you a D floor girl?
I go to the D floor when the mood's right. Absolutely, I go. It's got to be good tunes though.
Yeah, the mood has to strike me right.
I'm not
for
out
the
there
D-floor.
just to.
It can't be half throttle.
100%. I don't go and be like, let's go dance. Like, that ain't me. If I'm there and I'm like, oh, and there's a tune and the buzz is just right, like, I'm leading the charge.
Yeah.
And then the second there's a song that I don't like, I'm like, all right, back to business. Let's hit the bar.
It's a bad day to be a dance floor with you around, eh?
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. I'm the same way, Tess. The mood has to strike me right, the drink has to strike me right, and the song has to strike me right.
Yeah.
I had one of my friends had a very iconic bar moment yesterday. I was telling Tessa about this. I would be remiss if I didn't share with the internet, but I was at this bar in Toronto, and it was outdoor, and there's kind of like a high bar around the patio, and my friend Abby rolls up in rollerblades. Like, I didn't even know really she was on her way. I just texted her. I was like, hey,
in the bar.
We're having no, it was an outdoor. She rollerbladed onto the patio, but she basically like jumped the boards to get into the patio with her rollerblades on. It was one of the most iconic maneuvers I've ever seen. It should have been in a movie or something like that.
I love
that. Game 1, guys, in Ottawa in the books. Ottawa takes in overtime. Emily Clark, the hero. Minnesota falls in the first game of the Walter Cup Finals for the second season in a row. So what are we expecting in game 2, guys? Are we expecting to see Maddie Rooney? This is kind of the opposite of the way things went last year when Hensley, no, other way around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do expect to see Rooney, if I'm being honest. But I don't think Hensley played horribly, if that's fair. I just think she let in a squeaker. And sometimes, I mean, I don't know, because Hensley knows what it's like to play in that barn, which is not an easy barn to play in.
Absolutely.
So there's just no wrong choice with this team. It's too hard. Kellar's gotten in my freaking head. These games have gotten in my head. Now I'm overthinking, and my thing is don't overthink with goalies. Just stick with what you've been doing. So I'm going to say Rooney. I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I feel like if we've seen anything with Ken Klee, he's just very much like, okay, that one didn't work out, send in the next, and it's just something that the goalies have kind of known and roll with. So I definitely think that we're going to see Rooney.
Are you guys expecting to see the game open up a little bit in game 2? Like, are we expecting to see a little bit more full throttle hockey? That didn't really happen in the Minnesota-Ottawa series ever, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happened in this series. In the Montreal-Ottawa series.
Ottawa's pretty good at squash and momentum, I will say that. But I think that Minnesota's got the stick-to-itiveness, and they got the backing. I don't know if you guys know, but Jelly Roll was performing at the XL Energy Center this evening.
Cool.
Rocking a Frost jers.
Let's go.
Apparently, members of his band were skating with the reserve players earlier today as well. And apparently, Jelly Roll was going to be there, but he visited some inmates in the penitentiary there. But regardless, what a flex. So they know that they've got some serious celeb backing.
100%.
They got to show up and show out before they go home.
Yeah, for real. So,
in saying that, my prediction is, there's going to be wide open hockey a little bit, but it can't be too wide open because Ottawa's already shown that they know how to capitalize on whoopsies sometimes. So, the Frost are really going to have to toe that line lightly. I think this one's going OT again based on goaltending. And I'm going to say Ottawa takes game 2, and there will be an opportunity to clinch the Walter Cup in game 3 in Minnesota.
Ooh.
Minnesota.
Buckles, thoughts?
OT, I'm not sure about, but I have a really good feeling that Ottawa's going to take game 2 here.
Interesting. So you guys both think Ottawa's going up 2-0.
Yeah.
I think that we might see a big pushback from Minnesota in game 2. I think that they might come out mean, and I think they might come out fast, and I think that they might take game 2 in regulation.
Yeah.
Go back home with the split. I
have to correct myself. Jelly Roll, I just looked, was at US Bank Stadium, not at Excel. So I lied to you guys. I apologize. I will never do that again.
I think that you're forgiven.
We're always right on this podcast.
Lied right to your face.
Back.
Yeah.
If we lie to your face, we will tell you after. So don't worry, here at the Jocks and Jills podcast, we have an honesty policy. And you know what? It's kind of late at night, so we're starting to talk nonsense. We appreciate you guys staying up late with us after these overtime games and hanging with us all PWHL playoffs. Remember, we're going to be live on Thursday night right after game 2 in Ottawa as well, right here on the PWHL's YouTube page. You can join us as soon as the broadcast goes off the air for game 2. Appreciate you guys again sticking around for us tonight. Talking expansion, kind of killing your vibe when it comes to like Hillary Knight retirement and expansion, but it's all exciting news. It's all fun stuff. Like 2 more teams coming to the PWHL next year. And that, like Kristen O'Neill was talking about it today, as much as it's sad for the players and it's sad for fans, this is about the greater good of the league, right? We're getting 2 more teams in.
That's what being a pro is. That's what we've been begging for.
Exactly. So a little bit heartbreaking on the fields, but exactly what women's hockey has been wanting for a while.
Bring it on.
Bring it, and bring on game 2. Love you guys. Thank you very much to our sponsors, SharkNinja, Factor, CCM, Pizza, and thank you to you all for listening. We will talk to you Thursday night.